Yes. Okay. Vergessen auf. Egal. Ja. Mhm. Tip of the spears like a flash of lightning. Ich habe rausgedacht, oh. Und jetzt. The moonlight swept in to save me from the strike that threatened to end me. The sound was beautiful, like a tolling of a bell. No, truth be told, the sound hung over me, heavier than an iron weight. Man sieht's nämlich. Hä? Hä? Mhm. It's a bandit of a super trivia. The ring itself, the ring was not itself pleasant. This, it was the sound of steel, but the night herself was beautiful enough to make it into the chiming of a bell. I, I ask of you, are you my master? Her voice resonates in the darkness. I have to come to your summons. Henceforth my place is with you, and your fate with me. Our pact is now sealed. Indeed, the pact was sealed, just as she chose to serve me. I'm sure in that moment that I swore to save her. The moonlight cut through the darkness, as if in imitation of the night, the storehouse regained its former calm. Time had stopped. The vision before me had lasted less than a second, but that be it as it may, I will always remember the sight of her as clearly as if it are still happening now, even if I fall into the depths of hell. The faint slant of her profile, her serene, divinely green eyes. For a moment, time stopped. Her silhouette draped in blue swayed in the wind. I was struck by the pale blue glow. Her hair, as fine as gold thread, was bathed in moonlight. This happened 10 years ago. I see someone who takes me back. He's tall, with cheesy features. I've never known him to crack a joke. He ruffles my hair affectionately. No, that's not what this is. More like he's grasping my head and working it like a stubborn jawlet. Maybe he doesn't know how to control his strength. That's only to be expected. It's the first. I don't know. It's the first time he's ever done something like this. It's fine. It's time for me to leave. You know what to do next. I answered yes in a somber voice. He nodded once, withdrew his hand, and stood up. That's all. Had I known this be the last time we would ever see each other, I would have done my best to make him laugh with a perfect joke. I've been practicing punchlines in private, in the hopes of finally seeing a smile crack that stony face. I have one regret. It's that I never got to tell him any of my jokes. Get the assassination in your depth before you become an adult. Any decisions after that, I leave up to you. I'm sure you manage on your own. So he said, but he was worried about me. He told me about our families, heirloom jewels, the gems passed down to us from our grandmaster, and how to manage the underground workshop. If it was a rapid-fire course of objects, he'd never taught me before. Even as a child, I realized that he would probably never come home again. There was a war. Not a war between countries, but between people. But in this war were only 7 combatants. It might not have seemed fitting to call it a war, but having mages involved changing things. 7 mages from different factions compete, but I wasn't sure why they killed each other using methods I didn't really understand. One of them was the man in front of me. It meant that he would kill and eventually be killed. I'm sure he felt the ticking of his life clock even more keenly than I did. Rin, before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it. But above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. And with that, he ruffled my hair one last time and left. I never saw him again. My father's teacher was one of the masters who participated in the Holy Grail War. He never came home. Safe travels, father. I bid him farewell, as a well-behaved daughter should. I knew I was on the verge of tears, but I didn't let him show. I loved him. He was a great father and an even greater mage. Mages are stubborn people. As far as I knew, there wasn't a more outstanding man in the world. As my instructor, he trained me. As my father, he loved me. So I decided I'd accept the things he left for me and choose my own path. But before long, the Holy Grail will appear. It is the duty of the Tosakas to obtain it, and above all, it is a path we are destined to walk as mages. In the end, his final words for me were given as a mage, not as a father. That's the moment I made up my mind. Alright, I guess I'd better do Alright, I guess I'd better do everything I can to become a worthy mage. It's only natural for an apprentice to live up to her master's hopes. That's how I, Rin Tosaka, grew up after experiencing life twists and turns. It's been 10 years since my father went off to war. I wouldn't say I'd been looking forward to this day, but I am a bit on edge. This goes without saying after all. That moment which was burned into my memory 10 years ago will soon be upon me again. I hear something. Ring ring. Shut up. Stop. The noise doesn't stop. It's such an infernal racket. It's almost as if it's here to avenge my father. What now? I was up late, just a little longer. I wish I just let me sleep just a bit more. In fact, I should. Staying up in the early hours, deciphering my father's will, and I used a hell of a lot of magical energy to do it. I'm totally exhausted, body and mind. Good grief. Cut me some slack, would ya? Ring, 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 ring. The alarm clock is deaf to my complaints. What kind of machine makes a noise that seems like it's so purpose to remind me that you're late? Late. I can't be late. True, but there's a time and place for everything. No matter how much of an overachiever I am, I should try to make it to school on time, at least for today. Only slightly. Alright, I set my alarm 30 minutes early, which means I should still be able to sleep another 30. Doesn't that sound off? 30 minutes early? Geht hier clock through my heavy sleepy eyelids. The hands point to 7 o'clock on the dot. I usually get up at 6:30, which means I've completely used up my safety margin. Speaking of which, why is my brain so slow in the morning? I glare at the alarm clock for several seconds. I shut off the alarm and then slowly out of bed. The morning chill bites at me as I cross the hallway and enter the parlor. It's a 5:07 a.m. in January. Winters in Fuyuki are relatively warm, but the mornings here are cold as anywhere. Even at home, my breath mists white. It's that much colder without anyone else living here. Heater! I turn on the heater and go wash up. Single living is so inconvenient at times like these. If there was someone else here to wake up before me, then parlor would already be heated. Wash my face as I think. I run a brush through my long hair and get dressed. A chilly morning in the frigid bathroom. The only thing to be said for it is that the cold water mercilessly beats the sleepiness from me. With a final tuck on the ribbon at my collar, I finish get dressing. All that's left is to have breakfast and go to school. The clock reads just past 7, so my morning rush feels a bit anticlimactic. I don't even need to run then. Of course, I'd never do anything so uncut as sprinting to school. The Tosakas family motto dedicates that we conduct ourselves with confidence and elegance at all times. My ancestors must have been some high and mighty aristocrats, if that's what we've taught through generations. The anachronistic mansion I live in is proof enough of that. Plus, the Tosakas are a line of spellweavers who practice what is known as magecraft. We're not just an old family, we have a memorable storied history. Not that it's anything to brag about. In fact, I literally can't talk about it. The truth is, I'm a mage. Who could I even brag about to? As the name suggests, magecraft is what most normal people would see as magic. It sounds like some supernatural woo-woo, and if you'd like to think of it as just wiggling your fingers and saying abracadabra, that's fine too. Just think of us as people who chant weird words and make equally weird stuff happen. That said, we don't fly around broomsticks, we don't shoot stars out of wands either. We can do things kind of like that, but there's no point, so we don't. We're pretty much heretics who lurk in the shadows of society. We're not allowed to draw attention to ourselves, and anyone who has the time for that kind of thing would rather spend it on their research. Ordinary human might call us magicians, but that would be wrong. In fact, there are only 5 magicians in this whole world. Magicians are what we magicians are what we call people who can do something no one else can. They can accomplish feats beyond the means of modern science and perform genuine miracles. Similarly, magic is a label we use for mystics, magical mysteries that can't be realized with any amount of time or skill. While magecraft, though it looks mysterious, is something anyone can do with enough time and resources. I am a mage, and the kind of mystic I use are merely my magecraft, not true magic. Confusing, I know, but that's how it works. Also, modern civilization doesn't accept the existence of mages. We believe and manipulate and study things that can be measured, which puts us at odds with modern society. Above all, there's no point of any of what we do. You'd be such a happier just going off to a normal school and becoming a normal adult than you would studying magecraft. Human technology has accomplished great things. For the last few centuries, magecraft has been playing catch up with the progress of civilization. Nothing is impossible for humanity anymore. Miracles that could only be realized with magecraft in the distant past have been reduced to common tools and appliances. Even so, mages does have its benefit. Just as there are some things only science can accomplish, there remain heights only mystics can reach. If science is racing into the future, then mages are racing into the past. I think the Tosaka Grandmaster said that. Whether you're heading into the past or the future, your destination is the same, 0, or something like that. We can shelve the difficult topics for now. Philosophy is for the elderly. I finished my breakfast and pick up my bag. Alright, I gotta bring my pendant. I am reluctant to take something so valuable to school, but it would be a waste to leave it behind. I mean, this thing is 100 years old. It's by far the most powerful jewel we have. We could even say it is on an entirely different level. I obtained the gem after decoding my father's will last night. It's imbued with 10 years worth of my own magical energy. I've been told that the Tosaka family has heirloom jewels passed down since the olden days, and this might be one of them. Tosaka mages specialize at the conversion and flow of power. We channel our magical energy into precious gems whenever we have a spare moment. Simply put, I'm the gun and you are the bullet. The other main thing I've inherited from my father is a magic crest engraved into my left arm. A magic crest is proof that I'm the heir to our lineage. It's like all the techniques of a Tosaka condensed into a tattoo. I can't let my guard down, even if it hasn't started yet. For now, I stole my pendant, my father's keepsake, in a pocket. It's my trump card. There's nothing I can't do with the power stored in there. It's half past 7. I better leave soon if I don't want to be late for school. Schließung. Verfahren 3. I wave energy into the brief 4H phrase. As a mage, I can't neglect the security of my home base. That still applies even if I have never had so much as a single bulga, lost child, or stray cat wander into my home. Actually, I don't think the neighbors have ever even come over to say hello.
別にいいけど
That's
ね。
fine with me.
野良猫で
But
さえ入
why
ってこない
I
ってどういうことよ。
but why don't I ever get any stray cats around here? I look up at the mansion that's been my home for over a decade. Fuyuki is a strange city. One side of the intersection dividing the residential areas is filled with old samurai estates, where the side I'm on has an abundance of mansions built in European style. Apparently, a whole bunch of fortune families immigrated here long ago, but I've never seen a single fortune around. There's even a cemetery for foreigners in Shinto, a new part of the city across the river, but it was built for the generation that immigrated here.
日本の土が合わなかったのかな。
Maybe Japan just didn't suit them. I make a mental note to ask the priest about it next time I visit the church. He's nothing if not full of boring trivia, for sure. Oh? Something feels off as soon as I step outside.
なんだろう、思ったより静かなんですけど。
That's weird. It's quieter than I thought. There's no trace of a typical morning bustle. It's 7:30 in the morning. There would normally be students and workers on their daily commute.
まあ、
I guess it's just one of those days. Maybe everyone slept in. It's unusually cold today, so everyone must be snugged up in bed. Still though, even if that were true, it's strange that there isn't a single student on the street. At this time of day, you'd expect to see at least a school uniform or two. And yet, from where I'm standing at the school gate, it looks like morning club activities are just starting up. Which can only mean... Oh, Tosaka, you're awfully early today. I knew it. With a light sigh, I turned the face to the student who called out to me. Morning! Sure is cold today. The girl who addressed me so casually is Ayako Mitsuzuri. She's my classmate in 2A, and she's... Morning, Mitsuzuri. And sorry for the weird question, but do you know what time it is? It's not even 7 yet. You're still asleep or something? She waves her hand in front of my face as if to ask if anybody's home. Ayako is one of my few friends and she knows I'm not a morning person. She's probably figured out by now that I'm still not completely with it. The clocks at home are an hour ahead, all of them, apparently. I thought it was just my alarm clock, but the grandfather's clock was off too. What's going on here? Father must have set the clocks to go haywire once I took the pendant out of the underground cellar. Tosaka? Don't worry about it. It's no big deal. Are you on your way to morning practice, Mitsuzuri? Yeah, there's a lot of troublemakers in the Kyoto Club, and we're down one of our best shooters. So we need to put on a good show if we're going to attract first years in April. I see. Sounds rough. Way to show who you care. Oh, wanna come see? I'm sure the boys would love to know you're watching. The Kyoto Club, huh? I'm acquainted with 3 of its members. One is Ayako, the girl I'm talking to now. I barely ever speak to the other 2. Oh, those letters. Of those latter 2, there's one that I actually can't explain way as simple as an acquaintance. Became friends with Ayako, the club captain, because I've been watching the club from afar.
そうね。
Okay,
様子を見るだけ
as
なら
long
付
as
き合う
I'm
わ。
as long as
早
just
く来すぎた
watching,
からやる
I'll
こともな
come.
いし。
It's not like I have anything else to do. It's early in the morning.
よし、じゃあ全は急げ。
Nice.
早速行こう。
Let's get going. One of our school's trademarks is its well-equipped archery range. The chair of the school board has passion for Kyoto, the traditional Japanese archery, so they built a magnificent range on campus. It's kind of a waste for a high school club, to be honest.
ほらほら、まだ
Come
開始
on,
まで時
let's
間が
go.
あるし。
There's still time
Naka de
before
otoshi
practice
oze,
starts,
Tosaka.
so I'll get you some tea. Ayako tucks on my arm, looking somewhat pleased. If I'm being honest, her brusque way of speaking is a bad habit. As Ayako said, there's no one else at the range. We sip Japanese tea that's so hot it numbs my tongue as we prepared ahead for today's classes. Narin. The hot drink is delicious in the quiet, wintry archery range.
さて
That is-
単刀直入に聞くけど。
Okay, I'll get you right down to it.
Tosaka.
What's up with you today,
いい加減
Tosaka?
頼りになる相棒
Did you
は見つかった
finally reel in someone good? And she uses the occasion to ask me something completely ridiculous. Phew,
ほんと。
You're just getting straight to it today, hmm? Should I take the tone to mean you beat me to the punch?
ノーコメント。
No comment. If you're not showing your cards, then neither am I. So,
どうなのよ。
how about it?
その
If you
疲れ
being
た
so
顔を見る
tired
と
isn't
脈あり
anything
って
to
感
go
じだ
by,
よ。
I bet I'm right on the mark.
こっちもノーコメント。
No comment either. But I guess even if I try to hide it, you'd see right through
残念
me,
ながらこっち
sadly.
はまだよ。
Not yet.
綾子の
What
方は
about you? Can you really afford to take your time on the romantic front?
そうなんだけど。
You're not wrong.
私も雲
Things
行きが
aren't
怪しい
looking
わ
too good.
とりあえず
Sure,
取
I
り付け
could
ることは
grab
できるけど
someone just for
ここがここでしょ？
appearance. But
この先の
quality
命運がかかって
matters,
る
you
んだから
know?
妥協
I
する
shouldn't
わけにもいかない
compromise
し
my future's on the line.
ふん
Uh-huh.
勝手に決ま
Are
っ
you
て
that worried
私に
you'll
負ける
make
の
the
も嫌
wrong choice and lose to me?
もちろん
Obviously,
私にとって重要なのは
the
あ
important
んたを
thing
任
here
す
is
こと
that
だもの
you lose to me.
何が手に
What
入
I
るとか
actually
何を
gain
手
in the
に入れるとか
process
は
is
二の次
secondary, really. She chuckles confidently.
似た者
We're
同士
two
ね
peas in a
私たち
pot.
ねえ初めて会
Yeah,
った
I
時に
told you
言った
when
でし
we
ょ
met that this is
あんたとは
what
そういう
it'd be
関係
like
にあるん
between
だって
us. She did, didn't she? Kill or be killed. I'm sure that's how it'll be between the two of us. I was genuinely surprised to have someone say this right off the bat. Translation: Our friendship won't bloom unless we're constantly trading blows. Is what Ayako was getting at. I agree with her. In the 2 years since then, I still haven't figured out whether she's my friend or my nemesis.
ところでさ
How
私
did
た
we
ち
get to this
なんでこんな
again?
話してるんだっけ
なんでって
What?
言い出したのは
You
父さん
started
で
it,
しょ
Tosaka.
あんたがいつまでも彼氏
You
がいないの
complained
は
that you'd
女
never
として
have a
どうよなんて
boyfriend,
こ
so
ぼ
we
すもんだから
decided to make it a
だから
contest.
3
See
年にな
who
る前
catches
に
one
どっちが
first.
先に男作る
Remember?
かって勝負になったんじゃない
そう
Ah, right. That was a deal. We said that whoever loses has to do whatever the winner says for a day, right?
え
Yep.
え今時子
I
供で
don't
も交
think
わさな
even
い約
kids
束
make
だけど
deals like this
あんたと
anymore.
私に
But
限っ
we're
て
both sore
往生際
losers.
が悪いってことはないでしょ
So Tosaka, das beliebteste Mädchen an der Schule, glaube ich. Ja, mich sagt Ayako einfach, ja, wir sind beide Loser. Ja, das ist freundlich.
どんな結果にな
No
ろう
matter
と
what
負
happens,
けた方は
the
おと
loser
なしく
has
勝者に従う
to
ことにな
honor
る
the deal. Gotta say,
そ
I'm
れを
looking
思うと
forward to
私は
winning.
今から楽しみで楽しみで
Ayako snickers in delight. My godness. Ayako Mitsusuri is, to put it mildly, a handful. I'll admit, I'm looking forward to winning myself, so that goes for us both.
そう
I see,
けど
but
三つ釣り
Mitsusuri,
さ楽し
you
み
can
に
look
は結構だ
forward
け
to
ど
the future.
目的を違えない
Don't
で
lose sight of the goal. There's more to our contest than being first to the finish.
分かってるって
I know, it's not a real victory unless it's a relationship that makes you green with envy.
完全勝利とは言えないからね。まあ
That's the biggest challenge for us both, though. It doesn't matter how great of a guy he is if we can't bring ourselves to love him. Ayako's sigh is heavy. From what I've heard, she's known as a bit of a misandrist. I can't put too much stock in gossip though. That she made this bet at all means less than she just doesn't like boys, and more that she hasn't found the right person. That aside,
ちょっと
wait,
私たちって何
when did this
私たちって
become we?
断っておきますけ
I'll
ど
have you know
私
that
は
I'm
そっ
not
ちと違
on
って
ice
清潔
queen
感が
like
あり
you.
ません
I'd have no problem
男の
liking
子を好き
boy.
になるなんて問題でも何でもないわ
ああ、それ嘘。もしくは気づ
Yeah,
いて
I'm
い
not
な
buying
いだ
it.
け
Maybe you just haven't realized it, but I can't imagine you getting soft on a boy.
今まで数えきれない
You're
ぐらい
always
告
getting
白さ
asked
れたく
out
せに
and you've never
一
once
つも
said
色々
yes.
返事してない
You'd
じゃない
think if that you were
少しで
actually
も興味があ
interested,
るなら
you'd
付き合
at
おうっ
least
て
say
思う
a
でしょ
few. I'd say
なの
your
にこだわ
record
り続
speaks
ける
for
ってことは
itself.
あ
You
んたは
don't care
男に
about
興味が
boys.
ないってことよ
発想が貧
You
困
have no
ね
imagination at
その
all,
場合
don't
す
do
でに
you?
好きな相手がいるから
What if I
断ってる
already
って話もあ
have
りじゃない
feeling for someone?
うわすっごいね
Wow, talk about telltales. But sure, I can appreciate a good romance. Ayako's tone isn't mocking. She nods solemnly. Manche Wörter kenne ich nicht. Her sigh tells me that it would be nice if it were true. I don't believe myself. I can't really hide anything from her.
そうね
So can
私
I?
もそう思う
She's right. I know very well how cold I am.
認めるわ
I'll
私
concede
元
that
恋愛に
I'm
関しては素人みた
a
い
novice when it comes to romance.
そういうこと
That you are. Two peas in a pot, right?
ってもうじき
Damn.
7時か
It's already 7. We better cut the secret meeting short. Who knows when someone might walk in on us?
朝に
Time
な
to
ったら
start acting
学
like
生らしく振る
students.
舞わないとな
まあ
Oh,
三つ
look
釣り
at
する
you
のもそうい
with
う
a
世間
social
体があったなんて
butterfly.
意外だわ
It was worthy
これだけ
waking
でも
up
ほろっと
early
した
just
甲
to
斐があった
see
み
it.
たい
あんたほど筋
Not
金
as
入っ
much
て
as the
ないけ
great
どね
Rin Tosaka.
私の世間体なんて
I'm the David
遠
to
坂
you
凛に比べたら
Goliath.
灯
Your
籠の斧っ
ability
て
to
もん
fake
よ
being a goodie.
あんたの猫
Your
かぶ
two
りや
shoes at
擬
school
態っ
is
ていうより
practically an
別人
alternate
格のレベルよ
personality.
別人格
Ayako sniffed exaggeratedly. I emptied the rest of the teacup. She poured me and brewed a new pot.
で
So why not
遠
join a
坂は
club?
どうして部活に入らないの
Don't
よ
feed me usual bull
運
about
動神
being
経がないなんてざれ言は
unathletic.
聞かないからね
I still haven't forgotten how you
私は
beat
去
me
年
in
の体
every
力測定で
fitness test
こと
last
ごと
year.
くあんたに負けたのま
あら
You had me beat in a lung capacity though. And wait,
あと体重も三つ釣りさんのが上だったけど
Yeah, I gave 3 kilos. Wait, there was nothing to celebrate. Damn it! You tricked me! Ayako slaps the table.
危ない。お茶はこ
Careful,
ぼれる
you
で
might
勝負
spill
す
the
るさ。
tea. Shouldn't the club captain be taking better care of the place? Shut it! I'm your rival first, and the club captain somewhere after that. If there's no one else around, you can bet I'm ready to take the fight to you. Ayako side-eyes me with a huff. She has a unique idea about beauty. A beautiful woman must walk the martial path. She's always going on about that. Not surprisingly, she's well versed in most martial arts. Judo was a discipline she was least skilled at, so she joined the club and worked her way up to captain. She's probably one of the top 3 people in our school you'd least want to mess with.
あら、部員がいなければ首相じゃないなんて問題発言じゃないそれ。
Should you really be saying that you stop being a captain if none of your club members are around? Why not? I'm only captain for show. I can just have more unruly members take care of any grand work. Plus there's better shooters than me. Anyway, I don't have any captain's honor to defend.
そうなの？
That's so?
藤村先
I
生、
recall
み
Miss
すぐりさんは飛び抜けてうまいって
Fujimura
言ってたけ
saying
ど
you were the best they had. Coming from her. That's a bit of an ego boost, but still, she's only saying that because of the guy who left. You're right though. If Miss Fujimura thinks that much of me, I better act like a real captain.
そうそう。
That's the spirit.
妄想すれば影。
And speak of a devil, here come your clubmates now. Time for me to go.
私は置いて
But
ません
make
け
sure
ど、
you
み
do
すぐり
your
さんは
best.
きちんと首相になる。
What? You're not going to watch us shoot?
見てもわからな
I
いも
wouldn't
の。
understand it even
遠
if I
くから
did.
眺める分
It's
には
one
いいけ
thing
ど
to
ね。
watch it from afar,
ここら
but
へんものが道場にいるわけにはいか
uninitiated
ないでし
shouldn't
ょ。
loiter in the dojo. Just as I get up to leave, the first club members begin to entering the archery range.
おはようございます、首相。
Good morning, Captain.
ああ、おはよう、マト。
Morning,
今朝は一
Mato.
人？
Are you by yourself today?
はい。
Yes, I'm sorry, I couldn't convince him to come.
ああ、いいっていいって。
It's fine. If he doesn't want to, there's no point of forcing him. Ayako speaks to the first club members who arrive.
それじゃあ失礼するわ。
I'll be going then.
また
See you
後で
later,
ね、
Mitsuzuri.
みすぐりさん。
ああ、また後でね。
Yeah, later, Tosaka.
お疲れ様です。
Have a good day,
遠坂先
Tosaka.
輩。ありがとう。
Thanks. Hang in there, Sakura. I leave the dojo behind so as not get in the way.
やあ、遠坂。
Morning,
Ohayo.
Tosaka. Funny running
朝か
into
ら
you
君
so
に会うなんて
early.
ついてるな。
Oh no. And here comes. Oh no. And here comes the person I least want to see.
おはよう、マト君。
Good morning,
今日は早
Mato.
いのね。
You're here early.
当たり前だろ。
Of course I
首相
am.
なんだ
I am the captain, so
早
you
めに来ない
need
と一年に示し
to
がつ
set
か
a
ないじゃ
good
ないか。
example for the first years. Ugh. Shinji Mato from class 2C grins at me. He's the vice president of the Kyoto Club and darling of half the girls at school. It's mostly thanks to his looks, of course, but he's also admired for his good grades, social grades, being kind to girls, and being an overall heartthrob, or something like that. Da krieg ich's kotzen. Da krieg ich wirklich's Kotzen bei. I really don't follow that kind of stuff. It's just what I hear from my classmates say.
そう。
I see.
ご機嫌なところ
Hate to
悪いんだ
burst
け
your
ど
bubble, but I'm
一文字
pretty
ずれて
sure
ない
you're
ハト
forgetting an important part
大
of
事
that
な字だから忘れ
motto.
ない方がいいと思うけど
Trying to remember next time.
一文字抜けてる
What's that?
幸福の福
Wise.
字は違うけど
I don't care
響きは
whether
一緒
you're
でしょ
captain or
副首相
vice captain, but if you make a point of leaving it
別に首
out,
相も副首
people
相も
might
変わ
think
らない
it
けど
bothers you.
変に意識
Wise
するとこ
captain.
だわってるみたいに聞こえるでしょ
そうだね
You're right. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks, Tosaka.
お礼を言われ
Not
る
sure
よう
I
なことは
did
してない
anything you
け
should
ど
thank me for, but hey,
マト
I'm
君が
not
そう
going
思った
to
のな
stop
ら
you.
私には関係ないか
With a turn, I leave the range.
ちょっと待てよ
Well, hang on. You're here to watch, aren't you? You're more than welcome to stay.
遠慮するわ
Pass. I don't want to interrupt your practice.
そんなの構わないよ
I don't mind at all. If anyone says otherwise, I kick them out. So why don't you stick around? Oh, ich muss mich gerade zusammenreißen, ihn nicht zu beleidigen. Oh,
だから
I already
邪魔をする
said
気は
I
ないって
don't
言って
want
る
to
でしょ
intrude.
それに私
It's not as I'm particularly interested in Kyoto.
知らないやつの幸せ
I'm
が
not
嬉し
really
くないわ
excited to watch a bunch of people I don't know shooting arrows.
うん
What's that, Musaka? You don't care about
弓
Kyoto?
道に興味はなかったへえだって言うのに
I just must.
放課後になると遠くから見てた
I must just be confused after seeing you watch us after school so many times. I don't know what he's playing at, but he seems to have seriously misunderstood things.
なんだ
So you knew, Mato?
あ
Yeah, our eyes met often.
あ
You and I. I saw you
下
watching
を置い
me.
てさ声を返したかっ
I
た
wanted
け
to
ど
call out to you,
一応
but you know how it is. I can't raise my voice on the range. Ew, get back! Shinji shot closing in on me, looking pleased with him. Da kommt die Gallo! Lösch dich! I see the triumphant glint in his eye competing with that affable smile.
勘違いしてたよ
I
遠坂は弓が好きなんだと思ってたけど
I had it wrong
弓道に
all
興味が
along.
ないんだ
So
ろ
you liked watching us shoot, but you aren't interested. Why were you watching then, Tosaka? Ah, now I see. It would sound like that, wouldn't it?
離れてくれないかしら
Would you mind taking a step back, Mato?
私
It's
あまり人
I
に
like
近
my
寄られるの
personal
は好きじゃない
space.
し
ん
Hmm?
何
What was that, Tosaka?
あきれた
Wow, you're still
ここま
not
で
getting
言
it.
ってもわからないのね趣味じゃ
This
ないけど
isn't my
仕方ない
usual style, but I guess it's
簡
what
単にあなたに
what
理解
it'll
できる
take
ように
here.
言ってあげる
I make this real simple so even you can understand.
いい今と
I am less interested in you than I am in Kyoto. I didn't even know you were in the club, and I doubt I remember next time
あなたが
either.
市場にいたなんて今初めて知ったぐらいだし
なん
What
だ
did you just say? I must have touched a nerve because I must have tried to touch a nerve because he tried to grab me roughly. I was out of his reach and turned to leave.
それじゃあね
Bye,
マ
Mato.
ト君
Sometimes a
知識
bit
過剰なのも結構だけど、ほどほどにし
consciousness
といた方がいいわよ。
can do you better. Do you
遠
good?
坂お前
Osaka, du Kleine. Shinji sounds like he's about to say something, but he keeps his temper and doesn't chase after me. The guy is all style, no substance. If he had even a little backbone, people around him wouldn't suffer nearly so much. I take the re-entrance into the campus from the archery range. It's past 7 now, but there still aren't students in the hallways. Oh,
登坂さんだ
hey, it's Tosaka. Good morning,
おはよう
Miss
ございます
Fujimura.
藤村先生。
おはよう登坂さん
Yep, good
ち
morning
ゃんと
to
挨
you.
拶してくれて
I-
先生は
I
嬉
just
しいよ
love how you're so polite to teachers like me. The strange woman pretends to sob in delight. It may be hard to believe, but he's an extraordinarily affectionate and happy-go-lucky woman. Is actually a teacher here.
先生
There's another
ちゃ
way
んと
to
挨
say
拶を
good
する以
morning.
外にする挨拶があるのでしょうか？
あるわよ。1年
Yeah,
生は
sure
ちゃんと挨
are.
拶してくれる
The
んだけどね。
first years
上級生
all
になって
greet
く
me
ると
properly,
私の
but
名
once
字で挨
they're
拶し
upper
ないんだか
classmen,
ら。
they stop using my
登坂さん
surname.
はああいう輩の
Don't
真似しちゃ
follow
ダ
the
メだから
example,
ね。
alright. Alright?
はあ
Oh, I'm not
よ
quite
くわかり
sure.
ませんけど
No, Kosha, I
先生に失礼
understand,
な
but
こ
I
とはし
wouldn't
ま
be
せん
rude
が
to you.
よしよし。
Good
じゃ
girl.
あ
Oh,
みんなが
how
み
I
んな
wish
登
they
坂さ
could
ん
be
みたい
more
だった
like
らいい
you,
のにな。
Tosaka. With a parting wave and a Sia, Miss Fujimura leaves. Fortunately, she isn't my homeroom teacher. Miss Fujimura teaches English. Her sunny attitude belies her expert rank in Japanese fencing, kendo in her student days. They called her Fuyuki Taiga. That's the misery, though. You'd think someone known as a tiger would be feared, not adored, right? Miss Fujimura cheerily heads off in the direction of the archery range. For some reason, she's the faculty advisor to the Kyoto Club instead of the Kendo Club. It's about 7:30. I can see students doing their club activities on the school grounds, but there's hardly anyone indoors. Except...
遠坂
Hosaka! He always spurts out my name like I did something wrong every time he sees me. Well, if it isn't the student council president. It's a little early for patrolling campus, isn't it? Or are you maybe fixing up the club rooms? You're diligent as always. Not that I care.
そういうお前こそ何の
And
企んだ
just what are you doing?
部活
You're
動
not
もしてい
even
ないお
in
前
a
が
club, so why are you here so
こんな早くに飲んだ
early?
のか
I just felt like it. I'm not an early riser like your family, Ryodo. The student council president's handsome face darkens with suspicions. He seems to have it out for me. I don't really know why. Maybe me saying temples are so dull pass is what started it.
一つ聞いておくが
One question for you. Have you been staying late on campus lately, Tosaka? Nope. I'm in the go home club. You know what? You know that.
当然だ
Naturally, as the appointed student council president, I'm well acquainted with all of our students' affairs. That's nice. I'm not sure why you bothered asking then. I hope you're not trying to pawn your student council work off on outsiders. Spy on your fellow students yourself. Don't ask me. It's got nothing to do with me.
たわけ
In what way are you an outsider?
うちの会計の首根っこ
Don't think I haven't noticed the way you used to
このめぎつ
use you whites to get your hooks into our treasure, you vixen. Well, that wasn't uncalled for. Mitsuri just asked me to publicize your club budget allocation. Don't the students have a right to know how their funds are being spent?
なんと
That-
うちの会計を1週間休ま
That's
せ
all
た
it
精
was
神
to
的
you,
ダメー
was
ジ
it?
当然の行為なの
The
か
physiological damage you inflicted on the treasure made her take an entire week off. I shouldn't be surprised to see just how twisted your ethics are. Look who's talking. You ought to keep your staff on tighter leash. Playing favorites with the cultural clubs doesn't seem fair to me.
分かっている
I know that. That's why I was going to audit them myself. It's fixed, Issei. Jason. An unexpected visitor makes his presence known.
と悪い
Oh, Sorry, Emia.
頼んだのはこっ
You're
ちなのに
doing all the work while I'm out
いやい
here
や
and I
任せっきりに
just
してしまった
asked for your help
許せ
with the repairs. Forgive me. Don't worry about it. Where's the next one? We don't have much time.
ああ次は
The
消火
AV
室だ
room then. The equipment's been acting up for a while and
この
finally
度つ
gave
いに
up the
店長を圧
ghost.
倒された
If it's completely broken, I can't fix it. It'd be easier to buy a new one.
そうなんだが
You're right, but I still appreciate it if you take a look.
俺か
It
ら見
looks
れば
like
厳
it's
重だが
on the
お前から見れば
deathbed to
軽
me,
量かもしれん
but you might be able to nurse it back to health. Okay, I'll try. Backbone by the other student, the president leaves. I'd stopped thinking during the sudden turn of events. The other boy, wrench and screwdriver in hand, turned as if he's remembered something. You're early today, Tosaka. He awkwardly mutters and leaves. Was that supposed to be a greeting? The president and student called Emiya walks off into the distance. That would be Shiro Emiya from class 2C.
それはいいんだけど
Hope that's all it was. How do I put it? The wrench looked right at home in his hands, but I'm not sure if it's because it makes him look tough or handy. It's 7:30 a.m. There's nobody else in class 2A. I take a seat at my desk and flip through my math workbook. There's still 30 minutes until morning homeroom. I've got time to kill until my classmates start arriving. The classroom is lively as lunch break begins after fourth period. My school has a cafeteria, so only about half of the students stay in the room. It's mostly girls that stay behind. The girls think the cafeteria is a bit too liberal with the seasoning, so... Tosaka, would you like to have lunch with me?
お昼ご飯一緒に食べませんか
We girls tend to enjoy our lunches as a group.
ありがと
I'm
う
sorry,
サ
I
イズさん
can't, Sigusa.
けどごめん
But
な
thanks for
さい
asking. I'll be eating in the cafeteria today. I
朝
overslept
に
this
過ごしてしま
morning,
って
so I didn't
お
have
弁当
time
を
to
作る
make
余裕がな
lunch.
かったものですから
Of course. Sorry for bashing you with
そう
that.
とも知らず呼び止めてしまって
Sikusa looks guilty at her
余計な
feet.
ことしましたね
Among the refined and well-behaved students of Class A, she's the most demure. For some reason, she's really nice to me.
余計なこと
There's nothing to apologize
そんなことは
for.
ありません
I just didn't have
今日はたまたま
time
だ
to
から
make
気にしない
lunch
で
today.
また
Please ask me
明
again
日それに
tomorrow.
声をかけてください
I let her down as gentle as I can, and offer a genuine smile.
はい
Oh, okay.
どうぞ
So even you sleep
過
in,
ごすことも
so
ない
even you
ですね
sleep in too, huh? Perhaps my smile made her feel better. The user turns back to her table, looking relieved. She's adorable. Yukika Sigusa isn't drop dead gorgeous, but her smile always puts everyone around her at ease.
ええそうなん
It
です
doesn't happen.
なんとかごまかしてますけど
It does happen. I don't let it show, but I'm really not a morning person. I can't get up early enough to be in any clubs. Sikusa somehow maintains an elegant air even when startled. Watching her reaction is always so calming, but that doesn't mean I have time just to stand here and talk. If I keep up a conversation with someone so disarming, the real me is about to show herself.
それじゃあ
I'm
食
off
堂に行
to
って
the
きます
cafeteria, then enjoy your lunch.
はい東坂さんも
You too, Tosaka. Sikusa and I exchange some graceful greetings, and she returns to her friends. I see that she's eating with Kaede Makidera and Kani Himuro. Oh, right. Wasn't Sikusa the trick of The track and field club manager? Makidera and Himuro are the track and field club rising stars. Die eine heißt aber fast wie ich. Nur heißt ich Himura und die Himuro. Makidera's a bad influence with whom I go window shopping on days off, but I don't know Himuro too well. Looks like you got dumped, Seiichi. Told ya that Tosaka didn't bring lunch. If you wanna hook her, you gotta bring enough food for both of you. Maki, can't we just go to the cafeteria with her too then? Nah, it's too crammed in there. Does your space with us broom beggars? It's really annoying how the boys there when you sit next to Tosaka. The last time we hung out, she hogged all the attention. She's an overachiever and all swanky too. I can't take it. Makidera takes hold of Sekyusa's desk as she continues to rant about me. Despite her full mouth, she actually wears the kimono really well, like a picturesque Japanese beauty. Makino-ji, Lady Tosaka can hear everything you're saying. Meanwhile, Himuro's cool and solid. Dimiano. Wenn ich manche Wörter falsch spreche, I'm sorry. Manche Wörter kenne ich nicht. Are a complete foil to that of Makidera. Ich kann es noch nicht auf Deutsch umändern, glaube ich. Gibt's das Spiel? Bitte mach nicht weiter. Oh. Sekunde. Nein, Deutsch wird da nicht unterstützt. Mist. Oh crap. Did she hear me? Ugh, I bet she's totally glaring at me. I don't think she's glaring at you. She's totally shooting lasers. It's the scariest way she's smiling at you. Oh, come on. Just let it slide. We're pals, remember? I treated you to taiyaki that one time. Kaede Mikidera puffs her cheeks out in a pout, waving her disposal chopstick in the air. Would you believe that her hobby is collecting Her hobby is collecting wine schemes? The world works in strange ways. At any rate, it's rude to Sekyusa to stare at the three of them. Caught between me and foul-mouthed Makidera, Sekyusa looks like she doesn't know what to do with herself. It's alright, Sekyusa. And Makidera, I was the one who treated you to crepes, not taiyaki. You really ought to fix how often you work on repairable. That might scares the daylight out of me. Makidera holds up her lunchbox slit like some kind of shield. I bid you odd try your farewell and leave the classroom. And slide the door closed. Oops! Give me a break, Give me a break, taiyaki, crepes, what's the difference? They're both sweet things wrapped in carbs. Makidera utters something blasphemous for a girl. She thinks taiyaki and crepes are the same? Is she even human? Or are all desserts the same to her? If I'd known that her taste buds can distinguish flowers 500 yen very berry from an 80 yen taiyaki at Idomaya. Damn you, Kadea Makidera! I could have saved 220 yen! Wow, what am I getting actually upset for? I must still be tired from last night. The cafeteria sounds like a pain, so I'll just buy some bread from the counter and eat on the roof. Mind I can't remember. I purchased my lunch and head to the unoccupied roof. Though it's different in the summertime, during the winter the roof is a convenient place to eat that other students tend to avoid. It's too cold to hang out here during lunch, but that's a small price to pay for privacy.
さてとりあえず
Time
ご
to
飯行
eat.
こうか
I indulge in the tomato sandwich and hot lemon drink I bought from the cafeteria. It's a simple lunch, made all the more delicious by the fact I can enjoy it here in peace. Another too. I finish the sandwich and sip on the warm lemony drink. I'm a little tired. It's hard to balance being an overachiever with avoiding human contact as much as possible. As the saying goes, one should be accomplished at both the pen and the sword. It's a point of pride, no, conviction, that I'd be the top student of school. I decided that if I was going to be a student, then I would be very best. I don't want people looking down to the Tosaka name. That's how Rin Tosaka came to be perfect. A flawless student. On the other hand, my occupation as a mage is dangerous, so I shouldn't associate too much with normal people. When a mage is discovered by the public, she has no choice but to eliminate witnesses to protect herself. I'd rather not resort to that. That's why I keep my social interactions purely superficial, out of necessity. I only hang out in Mikidera on my days off, and I turn down invitations from more sociable people like Sikusa. It's difficult walking the tightrope of being the #1 student in school while making sure I don't become anybody else #1. I'm sure there are times when it tires me out. And I feel like life is a real drag.
もう時間か
It's already time. Finish a hot lemon drink and stand up. That's enough sentimentality for today. Time to go back downstairs and become Rin Tosaka again. Homeroom is over. Make sure you lock your day shift and lock the doors and windows. If you don't have any club activities, try to get home quickly. Class 2A's teacher gives his usual spiel and leaves the room. As far as I know, he's said it exactly the same way all year. Tosaka, are you going home already?
え
Yeah,
え
I
マト君と意見あったし
had a run in
面
with
倒になるまで
Mato
帰る
this
わ
morning, so I want to leave before I get out of hand. I figured. He sure had a temper this morning, must have put him through the ringer.
そう
Did he
迷惑を
now?
かけてしまったかしら
Sorry for the
いつも
trouble.
さ
別に
It wasn't really. Mato always harder on the younger students. It helps them build character. Glad to hear it. I'll make up to you
この
later.
埋め合わせはまた今度
はいはい
Sure, sure. I hope it doesn't put you off. Stop by again sometime. I make my way home without taking any dangers. My time is from Tosaka, the honor student, and once I leave the school. The next half of the day is reserved for the other me. I have to become a mage of a Tosaka. When I arrive back at the house, I'm greeted with the pulsing light of my answering machine.
留守電なんて珍しい
Voicemail?
な
That's rare.
相手は
Figures. It's
やっ
Kirei.
ぱりあんたかキレ
I have a feeling I know what he's going to say, but I better listen to it, or I won't hear the end of it later. I press the play button and hear a familiar male voice. It's me. I'm sure you're aware tomorrow is the time limit, Ren. We will have a problem if you procrastinate any further. There's only 2 spots left. I must ensure all masters are in order soon. The priest cut straight to the point. If you play to forfeit your rights as a master, let me know by today. It takes time to dispatch the substitute mage. Liar. I bet you could find a backup right away. You have already shown signs of a command spell. Promptly summon your servant and bind him to it. Of course, different discussion if you choose not to take part in the Holy Grail War. If you fear for your life, then come to the church with all due haste. The voicemail ends. It was a clear message in simple language. If you're going to fight, then be ready by today. If you aren't, then retire because you're in the way. I don't need you to tell me that. It's only to be expected, I guess. Today is the last day. I can track this out. Thankfully, I managed the cyber father's notes yesterday. Father's note. My battle's preparations are in order. All that's left is to seize the right to participate, as he said. The Holy Grail War, a fight to death over a single chalice, a ritual that's gone for over centuries. The mages who take part in the Holy Grail War are called masters. It doesn't denote a rank of any kind, it merely describes their role. There's a condition to participate in the Holy Grail War. You must summon a familiar called a servant and form a contract with them. Regardless of your skills as a mage, you are not recognized as a master unless you command a servant. There's a clear difference between servants and normal familiars. The way you summon and use them are different. Mages who plan to fight in the Holy Grail War prepare summoning catalysts, but I wish Father had left me something with a connection to a saber. I don't own any relic with a connection to a servant. I can summon one, yes. In fact, I could do it right now if I wanted to, as well as form a contract. This town's ley lines are under the jurisdiction of the Tosakas. I'm the heir to a clan that's administered the land for generations, so my performance will not take a backseat to some visiting mage. Although, while that is true, it'd be awfully incompetent of me to embark on a figurative voyage without a compass. Servants are drawn to symbols. Summon a powerful servant. One needs a symbol with a connection to the servant. In other words, I need something outrageously valuable item like a sword or a piece of armor that servant owns. Or maybe a bone or hardly related to them. I had such big hope for Father's will. No. He still did leave me a serious trump card. The pendant I discovered in the basement last night is an ancient artifact of the highest quality. It's amazing all on its own. Still, it won't help me summon a servant. Fine. I don't need to rely on something like that to figure this out. To begin with, I doubt there's any master who's more qualified to handle Saber than I am. Alright, I made up my mind. I'd rather not get another earful and waiting until last minute doesn't sit right with me. Now the real challenge begins. Tonight I'm going to summon a 7th while I'm in peak condition and acquire Saber by force. Late night. The clock reads almost 2 a.m. This is a period where everything lines up. My condition peaks at 2 a.m. sharp. In terms of limits, this will be my first and last chance, so I can't afford even the slightest mistake. Withdrawal within elimination engraves 4 circles of withdrawal and surrounds them with a summoning circle. There. I inscribe magic circles into the floor of the basement. Actually, it doesn't take a major evocation to call forth a servant. Servants are invited by the Holy Grail. Masters usher them to the world and supply the magical energy to materialize them, but the servants are the ones who choose to respond to the summons. For the elements, silver and iron. For the foundations, stone and the architect of pact. For the ancestor, my great master, Schweinorg. Raise a wall for the wind that shall fall. Close the gates of the 4 directions. Come forth from the crown and follow the fork road leading to the kingdom. Still need to keep cautious and focused. Magic circles are normally drawn with blood, but tonight I draw mine with melt jewels. I'm using up half of my jewels I've accumulated over my lifetime, so I'll never financially recover from this if this fails. Fill, close, fill, 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 fill. Repeat 5 times. But when each is filled, destroy it. It's almost 2 a.m. I finished drawing the summoning circles past them from the Tosaka's line and face it with all my being. Anfang. I fling a formless switch within myself. With a click, I feel my insides turn over to something else. My normal nerves invert and become circuits for the conducting magical energy. Rin Tosaka is no longer human. She's just a component to execute of mystics. I melt from my fingers. No, I'm filled up with my fingers. The mana I'm taking in is so dense, it overrides my bodily sensation. That's why I'm being destroyed at the same time I'm being filled. Running through my body is the power, mana, from the atmosphere. I convert it into a different type of energy through my body circuits. A mage's body is nothing but circuits. Circuits to connect the ethereal to the material. The mystical outcome we product is what we call magecraft. My body grows hot. It seems like horns are growing from my forehead. It seems like wings are spouting from my back. It seems like scales are covering my hands. It feels like there's water pooling around my ankles. Sweat drips. Step, step, sword pierces my body. There are the stigmata that rejects my body, which becomes a circuit. No matter how gifted a mage is, we're only human. In a human body, the pain is something we must live with whenever we use magecraft. The circuit doesn't let up. Beyond the agony, deep within the trace, lies the mental state necessary for connection. Pain wriggles in my left arm. To aid the caster, My magic crest autonomously begins an incantation invading my nervous system. The mana in the atmosphere is taking in turns to blood. It's like molten lead. While my activated magic crest resembles thorny nerves. With a crunching sensation, it creeps through my body like a thorny centipede. Within the hurt, I forget myself. At the same time, I can feel it taking hold of me, like I've reached where I need to go. My hypersensitive hearing peaks up the ticking clock in the parlor. 10 seconds left until 2 a.m. The power filling my body is unquestionably complete. Heed my words. Time to begin. I convert the mana I've collected into magical energy for fixation. All that's left is to feed all that energy into the engine. The summoning circle until my body runs dry. Heed my words. My will creates your body. Your soul creates my destiny. If you heed the great's call and obey my will and reason, then answer me. My vision goes dark. What lies before me now is the fifth spectre, said to be imperceptible to the naked eye. My vision shuts off on its own, fearing that I might see. I hereby swear, I shall be all good in the world. I shall defeat all evil in the world. Seven heavens, clad in 3 great words of power. Come forth from the circle of binding, guardian of the scale. That went off without a hitch. It feels so perfect. It's like I'm reading in a whale with a fishing rod. Flawless, I'm positive. Just drew the strongest card. I can't wait for my vision to return. I'll take a few more seconds, but when it does, I'm sure the strongest servant will... Oh! Gott, das... Be nowhere in sight. Das ist scheiße. Das ist scheiße.
Hi?
Ich hab mir so viel Mühe gegeben, es hat's nicht geklappt. Nothing's there. The room doesn't look different at all. I spent that much ether into this ritual, only for absolutely nothing to materialize. On top of that, I think I just heard something explode in the parlor. Why? I bolt. My head's empty at this point. I just run. Race up the stairs from the basement. The door's broken. The door to the parlor is askew off its hinges. There isn't any point in turning the knob. Well, since it won't open whether I push or pull. Damn it! Move, you stupid thing! I kick it down and burst into the room. And the moment I enter the parlor, everything becomes clear. Ey! Du hast da alles kaputt gemacht! Everything is in tatters, ja! Die hat einfach alles zerstört! Robinson strew across everything as if something has fallen through the ceiling. On top of it, all sits a man cocking his head arrogantly. He must be some kind of criminal. But something graver draws my attention. The great parlor clock, having escaped destruction, tells the time precisely. Now I remember. Right, of course. The clocks were an hour ahead today, weren't they? which means it's 1 a.m. There's a full hour left until I'm peak spellcasting form.
また
I
やっちゃっ
screwed
た
up again. Och man, wieso habe ich da nicht dran gedacht? Rin, wieso hast du nicht daran gedacht? Du warst heute Morgen doch schon zu früh. Anstatt dass sie ihre Uhr überprüft. I can complete tasks as well as anybody else, but suffer from curse of my genetics. Well, it really counts. And somehow managed to bungle things on an unbelievable level.
やっちゃったことは仕方
What's
ない
done is done. I just gotta learn from this. I can't believe my own stupidity. Still irritated, I direct my glare at the man lying heartedly on the
そ
rubble.
れで
So,
あんた何
what are you?
開口一番
That's the first thing out of your mouth.
これはまた
It seemed to have been a dealt a truly ridiculous master. The man in the red mantle shakes his head in a show of exasperation. To add insult to injury, he mutters something about drawing the short straw. Oh, no, I'm that certain. This guy has a messed up personality. And is this a servant? I thought familiars were shapeless beings, but this is just a man. No, not just a man. Even from here, I can tell that it's brimming with a shocking amount of magical energy. Don't be fooled by its appearance. I'm starting at something that's undoubtedly more than human. It's a human-shaped ghost that's on the level of an element. This is no time to be dumbstruck. That thing belongs to me. I need to get my head in the game.
確認するけ
Just
ど
checking, but
あなたは
are
私
you
の
my
サーバン
servant,
トで
right?
間違いない
それはこちら
That's what I wanted to ask. Are you even my master? I've never been summoned so violently before, and honestly, I'm still struggling to get my bearings.
私だって初めてよ
It's my first time
そういう質問
too.
は却
I'm
下
not
するわ
answering questions like that.
そうか
I see.
だが
But you weren't here when I was summoned. Care to explain why?
本
Are you serious?
ひな鳥じゃ
You're no
ないし
baby
目を
bird.
開けた
Don't
時し
joke
か
about.
主を決
Don't
めら
joke
れない
that you
なんて
can't
冗談は
decide
やめて
who
よ
to
ね
serve if they aren't there when you open your eyes. The identified servant frowns and grunt escapes his lips. Maybe he didn't like the way I said it, though he was a mixed reaction, as if still impressed by the logic in my words.
まあいいわ
Whether
私が聞いているのは
what
ね
I'm asking
あなた
is
が他の
if you're
誰
my
でもない
servant
この
and
私
no
の
one
サーバン
else.
トかってことだけよそれをはっきり
I
と
don't
伝
have
え
to
る以上
answer any of your
他の質問
questions
に答
until
え
you
る義務
make
はない
that
わ
clear.
召喚に
Is that what you get after a failed summoning, huh?
この場合
Believe there's something else you should be saying.
そんな
There
の
isn't
ないわよ
anything in a massive
主従
familiar
関係は一
relationship.
番初めにはっき
This
り
is
さ
the
せて
first
おくべき
detail
な
we
のだ
need to
もの
hash out. The seventh's eyebrow twitches. He isn't even bothering to hide his dissatisfaction with me. Wonder if it's because of his half-backed summoning?
主従関係ははっきり
You want to clarify who serves
やる
whom?
ことは知ってんだ
At least you know how to run your
口
mouth.
に達者らしい
If you've paid at everything else,
なあ
sure, I agree with that opinion. We ought to make clear who's strong and who's weak, or else it'll make this dynamic
お
difficult.
互いやりづらかろう
The seventh eyes me meaningfully, still relaxing on the rubble of my living room.
どちらが弱者か
Who's weak?
ああ
Yeah, I'm a servant, and I acknowledge that. I serve my summoner, but that's only how it is on paper, wouldn't you say?
どちらがより優れた
We still need to establish who's superior and whether you're worthy to fight alongside.
さてその件で
At that point, you are a mage worthy my servants, little girl.
私のマスターにふさわしい魔術師なのかなお嬢さん
The servant smirks. First he destroys my house, act like he's king of the castle, and now he has the nerve to ask me whether I'm worthy.
あなたの意
I
見
didn't
を聞いて
ask
ない
for
わ
your opinion. I
私が
only
聞いて
asked
い
if
る
you're
のは
my servant
あ
or
なた
not.
が私のサーバントか
I
どうかって
repeat
ことだ
myself,
けよ
stealing my gaze. I'm not going to break down from this condescending jerk.
おう
Oh, I see. You won't even deign to answer such an obvious question. At least you've got spirit. You can talk the talk, but you can walk the walk.
だから
Like I said,
先導を間違え
you're
るな
getting ahead of yourself.
一番
The
初めに
sum
確認するのは
it's the summoner's duty to confirm this first. Now answer me. Are you my servant or not? I step forward aggressively, ready to pounce pending on his answer. Such a stubborn girl. We'll get nowhere at this rate. Very well, for discussion's sake, let's assume that I am your servant. In that case, are you my master? Hypothetically speaking, of course. Obviously you're the servant I summoned!
私に呼ばれた
Who
サーバン
else
トな
will
ら
it be?
あなたのマスターは私以外に誰がいるっていうのよ
I glared him at the syrup man, giving my seething heat a moment to cool down. Oh, well, I suppose it would be hypothetically. Then where's the proof that you're my master? The servant blandly asked, smirking all the way. He's clearly trying to goad me with these questions into losing my temper.
ここよ
Right there!
あなたの
This proves
マスター
I'm
で
your
ある私
master!
ってこれ
I show him the command spells on my right hand. I don't think this was born yesterday. Father told me enough that I know what the command spells are.
納得いった
Good enough for you yet? Any other complaints? I first symbols at him in challenge. But the lanky servant rolls his eyes. Are you serious right now, girl? His face darkens, even looking more disgruntled. What do you mean? I'm talking about the way you think. Command spells automatically make you my master? They're merely tools to compel a servant. I can't believe you think flaunting some symbol is enough to play master. What I want to see is whether you deserve my loyal service. That makes sense. But normally, you'd think of a command spell if someone asks for proof you're master, right?
何よそれじゃあ
What?
私はマスター
You
して
think
る
I'm unqualified to be your master? I wish that were the case, but unfortunately your command spell shows that you summoned me. As hard as it is to believe, you appear to be my master. He shrugs in mock exhaustion. Uh-oh. I've reached my boiling point, and I'm not going to cool down in time. I'm hardly satisfied, but I concede the point. For now, you're my master. But I have conditions. I'm not going to do what you say. I decide the direction of battle, and you act as I see fit. This is the greatest concession I can give you. I'm sure you don't mind, girl. Sorry, father. I'm at my limit. Okay. You're saying you recognize me even though you don't like it. But you'll ignore my opinions? Aren't you supposed to be my servant? I ask in a trembling voice. After a spat over the command spell, this is my last desperate attempt to dialogue. And yet... Yes, technically, therefore I will obey you in theory, but I am the one who will be fighting. You can just hide underground in your house and behave until the Holy Grey War is over. That way even a novice like you will survive. He's looking down on me, declaring that he expects nothing from me. Did I make you angry? Of course. I respect your position. I was summoned to bring my master victory after all. My victories will belong to you, as will any spoils of war. You hardly have anything to complain about. You can't even use the command spells. Just leave the rest to me and worry about your own skin. I've had it with you!
いいわ
Fine, if that's how it is, I'm going... If that's how it's going to be, then I'll use them. Anfang! No more mercy! I've got nothing else left for a jackass like this! What? Don't tell me...
そのまさかよこの
This is exactly what you're thinking, you dirtbag! Vertrag! Herbei! Ein neuer Nagel, ein neues Gesetz! Ein neues Verbrechen! Wait! You've lost your mind, Master? Who would waste a command spell on something like this? Shut up! You're my servant, get it? That means you absolutely have to do what I say! The emblem of my right hand ages. 3 command spells. They allow a master to issue 3 unbreakable commands to their servants. Did you even think it through? If you use a command spell in such a major order? It's too late. It's too late. Why now? I didn't expect this to happen either. I don't want to die of self-loathing. I can't believe I'm just burning on my precious command spell on a pretty scabble. After that, I retreated from the ruins of the parlor and went to my bedroom. Before me stands a servant whom my command spells compelled absolute obedience from. Supposedly, anyway. I see. More or less you have figured out, Master. Who would call this absolute obedience? Just to be clear, do you understand how critical the command spells are, Master? Sure I do! They let me order your servant around 3 times without it.
それが何よ
It's just, what about it? Listen, command spells let you force the servant into action. You can use them not only to stop actions, but also strengthen actions. For example, normally I can't come to you instantly from a distant location, but if you order me to with your command spell, it's impossible. It's possible as long as it is something that I attainable with our magical energies. That's what the power of forced complaints means. Not even we servants can resist your commands. Your command spells are the 3 crystallizations of Grand Magecraft that can make us overcome our ability limits. Though you're down to 2 now. I know that! So what? I still have 2 more. It's not like the first one was wasted on you. You're right. This was miscalculated. The more rage an order is, more the power of a command spell diminishes. They are weaker on long-lasting, broad commands like protecting me until the end or winning this war for me. Composing will be sustained, but there will be servants who can resist the minor pain of this ambience. On the other hand, singular commands like unleash your next attack at all costs or do not break the glass are obsolete, and even more powerful servants will find difficult to defy them. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you, Master? Yes, you're saying that the rage commands are pointless. If the effect and restrictions are both weak, then servants can act against their command spell. It's better to use them on a simple, straightforward order rather than something abstract. That's correct. A command spell is meant to cause miracles beyond our own means. It's unforgivable, foolish to spend them on a task that can be executed by other means. That goes doubly for the way you used it earlier. You could have verbally persuaded me to obey you, and even 100 command spells would have failed to enforce absolute obedience. So you're saying it was all for nothing? Normally, that would be the case, but it appears that you are an outstandingly talented mage. Huh? Is he shocked? Is he shocked or happy? My servant lips twitch upward as he sighs.
桁が違っ
By outstanding, you mean...
ちょっとあなた
Hang on, tell me honestly what your condition is like right now. The implication dawns on me, and I ask him eagerly. That was my miscalculation. Your command should have resulted in a change of heart that would make me want to respect your opinion slightly more. But I can feel a strong compulsion from your every word. If I voice an object, let me think. It's as if my defiance would weaken me. In other words, my body will grow heavy, making it difficult to move if I defy my master's will. My servant shrugs in resignation. So he's saying that my command spell wasn't waste, but an actual benefit. He's still being as sarcastic as ever, so it doesn't seem to have had any effect. Besides, even if he's weakened, I doubt even 10 of me could resist if he decided to rebel against me. Ich glaube auch. Das will nicht gut enden. Allow me to retract my previous statement, Master. You may be young, but you are a superior mage. It was my mistake to underestimate you as a child and trying to keep you out of the fight. I apologize for my rudeness. Seven straightens his posture and give me a formula bow. Wait, hold on. I know we said a lot of things to each other, but it's not like we need to make up after. You said so? Good. I'm glad you're so understanding.
なんか切り
Probably quick in the uptake, aren't you? Indeed, miscalculation related, but this must be what they call a happy accident. I have no qualms bringing a mage of your talents into the war. Is this his roundabout way of saying I'm a strong master?
じゃあ
So you recognize me as your master,
認めるのね
even without the command spells? Of course, I was getting my bearings after summering earlier, but we're now completely connected as a mage. You should be able to feel the bond of our pact.
契約
Our pact? Now that he mentions it, something does feel weird about my body. It's as if my closed-off nerves are now connected to the outside. Specifically, I can feel a portion of my magical energy flowing to the man before me.
そっか
Oh, the Holy Grail calls the seven, but the masters keep them in the world. Yes, that's your power as a master. You supply your seven with magical energy so that they can remain in the world. And my supply adequate? I have concerns about your inexperience, but your power makes up for it. A common mage will probably faint the second they summon a servant. Yet, you're standing here, full of life. Considering the command spell you used earlier, your energy capacity unquestionably makes you a master of the finest caliber. Letter won't get you anywhere!
出ないけど
I break eye contact out of embarrassment. Well, I didn't see this coming. I know the command spell's making him obey me, but still, this superhuman servant is sincerely acknowledging me as his master.
で
So, which servant are you? I clear my head to return to business. You can tell by looking? Very well, then. I take it all back. He's definitely making fun of me.
分かったわこれは
Fine then, I'm asking you as your master.
ねえ
Hey, are you a saber?
じゃないの
Unfortunately, I'm not equipped with a sword. I suspected as much. Well, when all's said and done, I got the time wrong. Summoning circle didn't do its job, and my servant was sped out into some random room. It was far too sloppy of a ritual to summon the strongest 7th saber. I really botched it this time. I never lived down failing to pull saber after spending that much gems. Sorry, I'm not saber. Huh? Well, sure, it's a painful mistake, but I'm the only one who screwed up. Yes, I bet you think Archer is a very attractive class. Alright, I make you eat those words when the time comes. It won't be taking any apologies. What? What surprise? The unidentified servant seems to be sulking. Maybe some fiction. Igniting a saber offended him. Did that strike a nerve, Archer? It did. Just you watch. I'll show you how lucky you are to have me. Archer starts within sidelong glance. He has really spiteful air about him. But that reaction felt somehow childish and real malice. You know, you might be a pretty decent guy. Okay. Make sure I regret what I said, Archer. I'll apologize from the bottom of my heart if I do. If so. You'd better remember that, Master. You'll be grateful once you learn how capable I am. Of course. An apology might not satisfy me at that point. Archer huffs as his lips between twists into a grin. Oh yeah, this is one got rotten personality, alright. Anyway, your heroic spirit, so where's your legend originally from? Archer doesn't answer. His sardonic expression is replaced by a deepening frown. Archer, your master asked you a question. It's a secret. What? I can't tell anywhere. I can tell you where I'm from because... Hey, I get mad if you give me a lame excuse. Well, there's a fact. There's that face again. Archer opens and closes his mouth as if he's having trouble voicing an uncomfortable truth. Because I don't know. Wait, what? Huh? Are you making fun of me again? I don't mean to insult you. This must be because of the imperfect summoning. My memories are jumbled. I know who I am, but I know my name and origin. But my name and origins are haze. Still, it has valuable information, so there's no need to concern. Of course I am concerned! If I don't know which heroic spirit you are, then how am I supposed to know how strong you are? And what's the problem? That's a trivia question. There you go again! How am I supposed to form a strategy if I can't tell how strong my partner is? I can't fight a war like this! What do you mean? I am the servant that you summoned. Naturally, that makes me the strongest. He's so straightforward. The Crimson Knight fixes me with a gaze full of confidence and trust. But my brain grinds to a halt. There's no deception in Archer's words. He's sincerely giving me more credit than I deserve, even though we've just met. My cheeks are burning. I'm sure I'm blushing bright red right now. Surprise attacks like this tend to be my weakness. Fine then. At least nobody else knows who you are. Then they say you have to fool your allies to fool your enemies. I turn away from Azure to hide my embarrassment. I'm sure I'll figure out due to time what sort of servant he is anyway. For now, we have other priorities. Okay, I won't ask about your identity for the time being. Then, Archer, here's your first job.
早速か。
Jumping straight to it, are we? Guess you're an aggressive type.
それで
Where's the... Before he can say enemy, I toss a broom and handed him. Jetzt wird er ihn zum Saubermachen. Der hat aber auch Unordnung gemacht, das hat er verdient. Der kann sauber machen.
下の掃
Go
除
clean up the mess you've made
あんたが散
downstairs.
らかしたんだから責任持ってきれいにしといてね。
A few seconds pass in stunned silence. When Archer finally regains his senses. But he grips the broom indignantly. Keine Ahnung.
待て。
Wait, what exactly do you think a servant is?
使い魔でしょ
A familiar, right?
ちょっと生意気で
A little uppity and hard to deal with, though. Archer cuts himself off. Das würde ich aber auch machen. Er ärgert mich, ich ärgere zurück. So. I have no intention of letting him off, and if he tries to weasel out of it, I still have card to play.
意義あり。
I
そのような命令は
I object. I refuse to. Are you sure?
これマスター
This is direct order from your master. I thought you said you'd be weighted down if you went against me.
まあ
It's too bad if there's too much for you to handle.
その
But the
ペナルティは今を掃除す
penalty
るまで
will
続くのよ
continue until the parlor is
そんな
clean.
状態で明日から
You
戦って
know,
いくのは
won't
早
let
いんじゃ
that
ない
pose risk to you when we start fighting tomorrow. He stands there for several more seconds with broom in hand, grumbling under his breath. And so, the archer in the red mantle closes his eyes.
了解した。
Understood.
地獄に
Go to hell, Master. Fahr zur Hölle. Er sagt zu mir einfach, fahr zur Hölle. Hast du verdient. Du hast mein Wohnzimmer zerstört. And gratefully accepts my order. Now then. I'm getting late, so I should rest. I can decide how to deal with him once I wake up. A fateful day draws to a close. No, rather my fate was shaped by this night. That makes 6, including me. Once 7th and the final master summons their servant, the Holy Grail War of this generation will begin. In the not so distant future, the battle I've been waiting 10 long years for is about to commence. February 1st. The Holy Grail War. It's a grand ritual that has been repeated for hundreds of years. A fight to the death between 7 participants, of which only one can survive. It's said that the Holy Grail exists in the land of Fuyuki and that a number of mages fought over it in the past. Their one and only objective was to obtain the relic and called the Holy Grail. However, the Grail's origins are unclear. We're unsure it isn't the chalic that held the blood of God, but its power is fearsome enough to be compared to the Genian article. That's right. They say the Holy Grail can grant any wish. Only one person can possess it. The Holy Grail can only grant one wish for one person. Despite that, 7 mages are needed to summon the Grail to this land. 7 collaborators to create one miracle. So as you might imagine, it was only a matter of time before they start fighting over the Grail. Like so many conflicts, it started as a competition over property rights. The 7 mages equally use the power of the Holy Grail to summon the respective familiars, then do battles over the Grail itself. Only one mage can obtain the Groy. As a result, 7 people who started it as colleagues ended up in a furious battle to their death. That's the gist of the ritual known as the Holy Grail War, a struggle for ownership between mages. The mages chosen by the Holy Grail are called Masters, who use the blessing of the Grail to acquire powerful familiars known as servants. Two things serve as proof that one has become a master: summoning and command of a servant. The mark of a common spell to compel the servant's servitude. The first goes without saying. The archer I summoned yesterday, no, a few hours ago, to be exact, is Rin Tosaka's servant. As for the second, a master must closely guard the command spell that controls one servant. This is probably the most critical aspect of being a master. When I summoned Archer, symbols appeared on my right hand, namely command spells. Stigmata bestowed by the Holy Grail upon the summoning of a servant that marks one's new status as a master. A massive amount of magical energy is compressed into these seals, whose power is fleeting rather than long-lasting. They disappear once they are used, and as their shape suggests, each mark represents a single use. In other words, one only gets 3 shots. A master who has used up all 3 command spells can no longer control the servant is as good as dead. Therefore, command spells must be handled with care until the very end, since they're as valuable as one's own life. Ich glaube halt, hätte ich einen Servant, ich hätte viel zu viel Schiss, diese Command Spells zu benutzen. Ich glaube, ich würde die einfach nicht verwenden, einfach hoffen, dass ich einfach so durchkomme. Wobei ist eigentlich auch dumm, wenn man die gar nicht nutzt. Ich weiß nicht. Ich glaube aber, ich hätte zu viel Angst, dass ich da used to, also mich dran gewöhne. Und dann ja alle auf einmal verwende, was halt dumm wäre. Also, nee, nicht ganz. Es gibt Fälle, da ist das useful. Aber das ist dann wirklich eine Ausnahmesituation. It pains me to no end that I burned one right off the bat. It wasn't a total waste, so I'll chalk it up as a win. After all, a 7 could turn on its master at any time. If one command spells what it takes to put on the color on him, and I consider this is a fair trade. That's about it for the broader strokes of this business. Once 7 servants have been summoned, the Holy Grail War will begin. Oh fuck. The night we sleep will be fit for one. I don't know when the final master will appear, but they could be right around the corner. It's morning already. I feel sluggish. My blurry gaze goes up to the window, only sees that it's already bright outside. It's after 9? This doesn't even count as being tardy. After a drowsy check of the clock, I make up my mind and skip school today. Body's heavy. Feels like that business mostly drained me. Sitting up in bed, I have a long sigh. Not being a morning person isn't enough to explain why I feel so dull. I think Archer mentioned something about it. A master would be out of commission after summoning a servant. That's right. I summoned Archer, not Saber. I remember it all clearly now. I'd rather not, to be honest. But it's not as if I'm denying the fact that the facts will let me do it over. I'll take a day or so to recover my power. I'll just treat today like a breaking period. I drag myself out of bed. A mental boxing match rages between the outside air, which is quite warm for winter, and the comfort of my bed sheets. Then concludes in a 3-second knockout against the temptation of going back to sleep. Check my body in the mirror. Nothing out of place aside from the loss of my half-usual magical energy.
問題なんてあるわけないけど
Not that it's a problem. I review the situation. I summon the servant Archer, who doesn't have an ounce of respect for his master. To make matters worse, he doesn't even know who he is. Wow, talk about headache.
あいつの記憶
I guess that
が戻るまで
means his
キリッと
trump cards off the
か
table until his memory
思い
comes
出せない
back.
と使いようがないし
I can't expect him to use a power he doesn't even remember. Servants are strong familiars, all of their own. But what makes them truly formidable is the secret weapon they each possess. Frustratingly, Archer claims to have forgotten what this is.
まあ
It's my fault he's in the States.
なんとかやって
We'll just have to make it work. We're both at the same boat then. I can only pray that he'll sort his memory out, but knows how long that may take. Good grief. It's really got my work cut out for him.
あ見直した
Oh,
か
I
も
might
これ
have reevaluated my opinion for him. The Paler is completely back to normal. I thought he might just clear away the disputes, but the room is so spotless I can't help but be impressed. He must have felt bad wrecking this place. I doubt he would have gone to the trouble otherwise. I guess I ought to commend him for being a more decent guy than I.
日はとっくに昇っている
Still taking your sweet time, I see. I need I remind you that we're wasting daylight. I retract my statement. There isn't a remorseful bone in his body.
おはよう
Good morning.
そういう
You seem to have made yourself a right at home.
今を好き勝手
何一晩
I did spend the night, after all.
どこに何があるか把握
Oh,
して
I took the occasion to DD up the kitchen. I expected it to be ineducate, but it's rather thoughtfully furnished. Quite well kept for a girl living all alone in a mansion. I have a headache. Why do you have to put up with a servant judging my interior decoration? I thought servants are all cared only about fighting. Why are we sure this guy isn't defective?
なるほど
I see you aren't in the best condition. You were feisty that night, but wait, you must have caught up with you.
紅茶でよければごちそうしよう
I'll pour you some tea. I hope Black is fine. Acting like he owns this place. Without missing a beat, Archer produces a teacup and fills it with the expensive radish tea he's been brewing. There's a lot I want to say right now, but oddly enough, I can't work up the negation. The way he does it also refined. I've got to admit, he might be rather cultured.
まあいいけど
Fine.
疲れて
I am
るから
pretty
いいですよ
exhausted, so I have some. I sit down on the chair. The teacup is placed soundlessly in front of me. I take a sip. Oh, it's delicious! I expected as much since it's my favorite Chinese tea, a spring harvest hongcha. I'd be upset if it didn't taste good. On that note, I'd normally be upset if someone used my favorite tea leaves without asking. It makes me mad, but the tea was brewed so exquisitely that the pleasure it brings overcomes my anger. Hey,
ちょっと
hey, what's so
何笑っ
funny?
てるのよ
何感想が
Well, I was going to ask how you like it, but your face tells me enough.
もったいない
Oh, what a waste. You should enjoy it while it's still hot. I can leave it if I'm spoiling the mood. No need! Thanks for the tea. I didn't become a master to be a tea snob, and I didn't ask you to do that either. I see. I agree. I didn't make a contract with you to be a tea brewer. I'll show more restraint in the future, if that's what you want. Yeah, you're only here to be a combat familiar. I've never heard of a servant does household chores, nor do I particularly need one. What do you mean by particularly? Interpret that however you want. More importantly, do you remember who you are yet? Archer shakes his head in the negative. That doesn't bode well. If you can't remember after single night, this memory probably won't return easily. There are some measures I can try today, but... Alright, I think of some solutions for your memory issue. For now, get ready to head out, Archer. You probably don't know the lay of the land yet, do you? I give you a tour of the city. Get ready? There's no need for that. Surely, if we're leaving, we should go right now. Do you plan to walk around town in that outfit? Anyone can see that you aren't a normal person. And if another master spots you, they know you're a servant right away. I don't plan on announcing our presence to the world. So that's your concern. There's no problem why I need to change clothes, blend in. That's only why I materialize. Servants are fundamentally spiritual beings. When we're out of combat, I can take an incorporeal state of to reduce the burden of my master. Oh, okay. That makes you a heroic spirit. You need your master magical energy to form a body. So if you cut that supply, we naturally return to spirit form. In this state, servants are more like guardian angels. We can only be observed by masters connected to the ley line. Of course, we're still capable of conversation and recognition. Wow, that's handy. That would make it really hard for other masters to locate you. Yes, but just as mages can sense other mages, servants can sense other servants. A servant who is skilled in mage crafts may even be able to locate other servants from afar. Archer has it in one. Masters are supposed to be capable mages, and the more magical energy mages has, the better they are at detecting traces of magical energy. As far as I know, however, there isn't anyone else around with that degree of power. So, what about you? Can you tell where the other servants are? Master, you have forgotten which class I am? Do you expect a knight to be able to describe far away enemies? He has a point. Archer's magical energy isn't on that level. It's likely that only the magically powerful caster is capable of easily locating distant foes. Fine, then follow me, Archer. I'll show you the world you've been summoned to. I doubt it'll be particularly new to me. Moreover, Master, you haven't forgotten something important. Huh? Something important? My goodness, you really aren't at the top of your game. We still haven't exchanged the most critical point of our contract. The most critical point? Is he demanding equivalently exchange? No, that can't be it. The change to take part in the Holy Grail Wall is already reward enough for a servant. There shouldn't be anything else left to trade.
君な。
Wow, you really are in the morning
本
person.
当に。
Archer sound expert. Ich hasse dieses Wort. His oh so sardonic manner of speech finally gives me an idea. Come to think of it, he's never once called me by my name.
あ
Oh
あ
crap,
しまった
my
名
name.
前
思い当たったか。
Highly caught up, are we?
今から
I
でも遅くはない
suppose
さ
it isn't too late.
それでマスター。
So, Master, what is your name? What shall I call
呼
you?
べばいい。
Aja-san Saiki. Oh man, he really is a decent person. I'm sure of it now. After all, there's no tangible benefit of exchanging names. Servants are forcefully bound to their master by the command spell. While names are key to contracting with regular familia, there's no need for a master and servant to be so intimate. Important to Archer. He's clearly trying to establish trust between comrades in arms, regardless of the command spell.
私
I'm
Tosaka.
Ren Tosaka.
あなたの好きな
You can call me
呼び名
whatever
は
you want. I answer in a clipped tone, unwilling to let slip any admiration. You'll probably just call me something impersonal like Master or Hey You, which works out just fine for me. Except... Archer choose on Ren Tosaka for a moment.
それでは。
Then Ren. Yes.
ああ。
Yes, the sound of that suits you very well.
実に君に
He
似合って
says
いる。
something really forward.
リン。
What's wrong, Rin? You look unwell. Shut up! We're leaving, Archer! There's no time to be sitting
の
around!
んびりしてる暇なんてないんだから
I turn on my heel and storm away huffing. This is so infuriating, I'm not even sure why. Damn that Archer! Did he say that just to mess with me?
ありえる
I bet that definitely sounds like he do. Yeah, I'm sure that's it. Must be all part of his plan to get me all flustered. Bin da auch mega empfindlich. Ich werd... Ich war auch richtig schnell flustered, actually. Zumindest wenn man weiß, was man sagen muss. Gotta work with his wise guy from here on out. I take Archer outside. New York City is my hometown and broadly divided into two halves. There's Miyama, which is left over from the village the city grew out of, and Shinto, the developing modern region across the river. My house is in Miyama, the old part. Miyama is itself split into two areas. The European-style neighborhoods originally inhabited by immigrants from abroad, and the old Japanese-style houses set against a mountainous backdrop. Both areas are suitable in hill drops along the outskirts of town. The street dividing the two residential areas is fairly normal by comparison. How normal, you ask? This normal. This is the crossroads of Miyama. No one sides line. The road going uphill to European neighborhood, where I live. Opposite is the road to the Japanese houses. Between them is the path leading into Shinto. Where's my school and the shopping areas are all, as well as the Ryodo temple in the mountains. Okay. Back to title. Okay. Ich mach dann jetzt Schluss. Hab mich gefreut. Ich mag das Spiel. Ich spiele das definitiv weiter. Wir sehen uns dann Donnerstag. Warum streame ich ja nicht? Ciao, ciao.